Hello and welcome. My name is Jeffrey Penner with Blooming Namu Technology Consulting, and today we're going to talk about sharing your files with your team and storing those files on the cloud. If you're still storing your files on your physical hard drive, on your desktop, on some type of physical machine, it wouldn't feel good if that machine catches fire and your files burn up into ashes, and just like that, poof, all your client info is gone. Oh, no, you wouldn't want that, of course. Using the excuse, my dog ate my homework, won't work when it comes to your business files and your client's files, so it's best to stay protected. And one way to stay protected is to store those files in the cloud where they're nice and secure and you can access them from anywhere. So let's get into it. What kind of software can host your files? Well, there's a variety of platforms, including platforms from Zoho, from Microsoft, from Google, there's Dropbox, there's Box, there's a variety of different choices to go with, but between us, we're going to talk about Zoho WorkDrive and Microsoft SharePoint, as those are two very popular approaches. When it comes to how do you store your files on the cloud, well, it's very similar to how you might store them on your desktop, where you'll have your folder system set up, you can place files here and there as you like. It's essentially identical. So nothing new there from a learning perspective. And when you want to access those files, well, that's where the fun part comes in. You can access them from the web anywhere that you need them. Whether you're in the office, whether you're at home, whether you're with a client, you can access those files on the go. You can even access them on your mobile phone, if that makes sense. And my favorite option for accessing files is you can download a virtual drive, a shared drive, onto your desktop or your tablet or your iPad, where you can essentially drag and drop or copy and paste files on the go into that drive. And it'll automatically sync with the cloud and you don't have to do anything else. It's beautiful and saves so much time. Once you have those files on the cloud, you'll probably want to share them with your team. You might even want to collect files from your clients when you can. When you want to share the files with your team, we'll start with that one. You can set up shared team folders where all of your team members can access that one location and see exactly which files are in there, view them, edit them, etc. If you want to take things still from a private individual perspective because you're not ready to share it with your team yet, you can set permissions on your file to say, this file is just for me and for nobody else yet, which might be important for draft files, for example, that you're not ready to share with your team. You can set permissions to any of your files and folders as necessary to lock down just as much permission as you need to make sure that the right people get to see the right files and nothing more and nothing less. When it comes to collecting files from the clients, it can be very easy. It's recommended that you create a separate folder for that client to upload into and then create a secure password protected link to send to that client where they can simply click into it, upload their file right into your file system on the cloud, and done. They won't have access to anything else except to upload that file. It's as simple as that. Let's talk about file versioning. Everybody makes mistakes or modifications in a file. It's great to hold the version of that file. Every time you save your file, a new version is created. And it continues creating versions up to a certain amount depending on your platform and plan. This can be especially helpful if you do something that maybe you weren't ready to do yet. You can simply retrieve your oldest version and bam! It's right there and ready for you to view or download or etc. File versioning is extremely helpful for you throughout your business cycle. You can also restore deleted files up to a certain amount of days that the files have been deleted. Again, this can be super helpful if you accidentally deleted a file that you weren't ready to delete yet. How about protecting your files? You want to make sure that your files are protected, of course, on the cloud. Well, there's a lot of protection pre-built into it. And we spoke about permissioning on files and folders previously. I highly recommend that. There's also two-factor authentication that you can set up in your platform so that when any of your users log in, they also have that prompt on their phone or somewhere else that says, "Is this you?" And they simply say yes and continue with their login. So they stay protected, rather more protected in that sense, for anybody trying to access their account and their files. And finally, when it comes to protection, the files are encrypted in transit and they are encrypted at rest. So there's a lot less to worry about there. How about pricing? What does all of this cost? What does it come down to? Well, there's some pretty affordable solutions out there. Again, with Zoho WorkDrive and Microsoft SharePoint. With Microsoft SharePoint, you will be paying about $17 a month per user. And you get about 1 terabyte of storage per user, which is a lot. With Zoho WorkDrive, it's about $11 per user per month, and you get 5 terabytes to use for your team. In addition, if you go over 10 users with the WorkDrive, you're automatically upgraded to an additional 500 gigabytes for adding that user, and that goes into your shared team storage capacity. And so it's easy to scale if you need more and more and more storage for your employees. I have a few more topics that I'll jump into really quickly here before we finish up. What happens when you say, yes, I want to do this, and you're ready to jump into the cloud system? Well, the files have to get there somewhere. Your files and your folders and directories and everything needs to get in, and there's a very simple way of doing that. It's simple. All you have to do is back up your existing files on an external hard drive, or maybe on that same machine, make some space for it and copy and paste those files into that new storage space. Then, if you're with SharePoint, download the OneDrive. If you're with Zoho, download the WorkDrive. And then simply copy and paste all your files into that new virtual shared drive. Ping! And just like that, it'll take time to upload, and done! You're finished. All of your files are now on the cloud and in sync. It's as easy as that. When it comes to integrating this cloud storage system with your other platforms, there's great API developer documentation set out with SharePoint and with Zoho WorkDrive to help you connect your cloud platform with your other software platforms. No problem there. Just find a developer that can help you out, and boom bada bing, life gets easy. And finally, what if you want to report on your data? Again, there is that API developer documentation. But also I recommend there are other cloud platforms out there that might be great for your organization to help move you away from using Excel and from Word. And they have a lot of very powerful features. If you'd like to know about them, give us a shout. My final thoughts on this are using a cloud file storage system has incredible benefits, and it's complemented by a low monthly cost to use this and to stay secure and access your files from anywhere that you need them. My name is Jeffrey Penner, again with Blooming Namu Technology Consulting. If you need a tech guy to help you get set up, or if you have questions and need support along the way, you know who to call. I can be your tech guy. Reach out.